Hi, everyone, and welcome to the NextGen Genealogy Network's Education Chat. My name is Shannon Combs Bennett, and I am the Education Co-Chair. Joining me is my new co-chair, Eric Wells. Hi, Eric. How are you today?
Great, I'm feeling shiny. How about you?
Oh, awesome sauce. Um, we are excited to start January 2016 off with a brand new hangout. Yay! I know I took a few months off last fall. Uh, Mostly it was because I got sick and then I had other things that kept me really, really busy, and I really don't like talking to myself. So hopefully this year, Eric and I will have some wonderful conversations. And if any of you out there in Next Gen land want to join us, please let us know. We will start publishing at least a week ahead of time when we know we're going to be doing a chat, what we'll be talking about. And if you have an opinion on the subject, we would love to have you on the show. Right, Eric?
That's right. We're looking
Awesome.
forward to some participation here. Otherwise, it's just you and I talking to each other, right?
Yeah, which is better than just me talking to a screen. So
Yeah, that's twice as better.
now, a lot of you know that I do a ton of writing, it seems, especially blog posts and various articles. And one of the things I get asked a lot is how do I do it and how do I conquer that whole self editing thing? You do a lot of writing too, don't you, Eric?
Yeah, I do. And since I've started doing genealogy, I find that do much more than I expected to.
Yeah, this biologist never expected in her life to be doing this today. I mean, lab reports, yeah, but this is different.
Yeah, I come from the construction background, and I just made a ton of notes, mostly in my own scrawling handwriting. But now I have to put words and sentences together where other people need to understand it instead of just me.
Right. And I know a lot of next geners have blogs and are
Mhm.
looking at moving into possibly professional writing, either for clients or articles, maybe doing presentations. And editing is a real chore, but it's something that we all have to embrace at one
Oh
point in
yeah,
time.
some people love it, some people hate it, but it's necessary. It's absolutely necessary to get your message across and get it across in an understandable way.
Right. So Eric and I put together 5 tips that we think that will help you at least get started. And these are just really basic common sense ones, or at least I thought they were common sense ones. But it's unbelievable sometimes when people will go, I never thought of that. So hopefully one of you out there will have the light bulb, oh my God, why didn't I think of that moment? And it will help you take your writing and especially your editing to the next level. So do you have a favorite one you want to start with, Eric?
Well, we can start at number one.
Okay.
How's that? We can either go backwards
Oh, whatever.
from the one, or all right. The one that I like is joining forces with a friend.
Mhm.
It's really important to when you're writing stuff, you tend to get so focused and you know exactly what you want to write down. But when you read through it again, you totally skip over some misspellings or grammar mistakes, and just because you know what to expect. So having someone else who doesn't know what to expect with your writing to review it and read it over can really be very helpful, and it's very key to do it to doing it that way. You don't necessarily need to have like a professional person or pay someone to do it, but just having a friend. I know I've got my own wife. She reviews a lot of stuff that I write, and honestly, I send stuff to my mom for her to take a look at too.
Now, I always tell people to pick someone you know will be brutally honest with you too.
Yep, yep.
Like, I can't pick my dad because he'll, no matter what I write, will say, "Oh, it's so wonderful," and and my best friend will go, "I can't believe you wrote that."
Yeah, find a non-biased friend.
Exactly. So I like the one to read it out loud.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things I learned, especially when I started writing my blog, was if I read it out loud to myself, I would catch more things. I guess because you get in a cadence and a rhythm, and
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
different than your eyes work differently when you're reading it out loud versus when you're reading it to yourself, and you can catch a lot of mistakes, missing words, or sometimes you'll read a sentence and you'll go, that doesn't make any sense. No, let's think about this for a minute here. and try to fix it.
Yes, I find that when I read it out loud, oftentimes these sentences that I think are like really beautiful turn out to be super clunky,
Hmm.
and I need to really stare at it, and it's almost like solving a puzzle and rearranging some of the words or maybe putting some punctuation in that would make a big difference on how the sentence is spoken out loud or read inside of somebody's head.
Right, and not just more commas, because then you just have a paragraph of commas.
Exactly.
So what
Maybe
other
a semicolon, but that's about it.
yeah, one paragraph, one sentence. No, we shouldn't do that.
No, no, no.
So, do you have another tip you wanna share?
I like to take your time away from writing.
Mm,
Um,
mhm.
it can get exhausting to just be writing and writing, and you get so tunnel focused that you start stumble into a block, like a writer's block type of thing. And so, if you just get up, let your mind sort of reset on, honestly, I think a lot is going on in your subconscious, uh, processing in the background that you're not even aware of, and it'll help bring up new ideas and clearer ways maybe to present what you're trying to write out. So give yourself a break, walk away, take 15 minutes, walk outside, get some sun on your eyeballs and not computer monitor light on your eyeballs or something.
Yeah, my husband loves it when I have writer's block because I start to clean. And he's like, "Could you do that more often? This is awesome." Because he knows when I'm really, really working on a deadline and I'm like focused and right there, the house kind of falls apart. And he's like, "I like it when you need a break. This is awesome. You come and you." I'm like, "Yeah, because scrubbing countertops really makes me feel better."
Well, it's kind of like monotonous, or you don't really need to
Mhm.
think about what you're doing, and gives yourself some of that brain power to process what you were writing about.
Right, and also when I come back and then I reread it,
Yep.
it's looking at it with fresh eyes, and I can see my mistakes and where I need to add or change, and so it's like working on a brand new piece of work again.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. It's been very helpful to just. I struggle to do it, but I know
Mhm.
it's the best thing to do. All right, Eric, just get up, walk away, take your hands away from the keyboard, and
Right.
do something else for a little bit.
I have a friend who put an app on their computer, and it's a little sheep. So after 2 hours of working at the computer, this little sheep will come across the screen and tell you to get up. And it's their cue that they should go do something else for a while. They've been sitting too long.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
I'm like, "I
That's
need that."
yeah, yeah. At least it's not Clippy, that little Microsoft Word
Oh my god,
paperclip.
I remember that. That is showing our age, unfortunately.
Yeah, you may be right. What was that? That was done with in by
A long time ago.
2005 or something.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, now we're old officially. So here's another tip I like. I like making sure everything has structure. And not everyone likes this concept, but I think working off of an outline or even a map, an idea map. I love idea maps. So those little webs they used to have you draw in elementary school with like the center topic and all the little spokes that come out. That's how I write. I'm old fashioned, I know. But I think using some sort of structure, even a basic skeleton structure, can help you, one, keep focused on your
Yep.
topic, and two, keep you on track. So you know what you have and haven't done. You don't repeat
Yeah.
yourself as often.
Yeah.
And, sometimes tangents are good in stories, but you don't want them all the time.
Yeah, I'd prefer doing an outline, a simple outline, 1A, B, whatever. And there are specific things, like you were saying, that I want to get across and want to um, address within the article or what have you. And I start checking them off, and it helps keep the writing to the right size, the right length, and so it just doesn't go on and on and on, and helps keep it concise as well. Basically, expanding upon my little outline bullets.
Right. And I know a lot of people who work like that. And I do if when I have very specific like handouts I'm doing for a lecture. So I want to make sure I cover certain topics from my slides. I'll do it that way. That way I
Yeah.
which ensures that I cover the important information I want them to take home with them.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but back in high school, my English teachers were right to teach me this this way to do it. They taught us several ways to do it, and one of them stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to admit it. I didn't like English. I liked reading, but I didn't like the whole writing part and reports part. Like, this is boring. But it turns out I'm liking it a lot more than I ever have.
See, in high school I liked okay, I liked the reading. I loved creative writing, those types of things. But having me diagram sentences, I'm still not sure I know all the parts of the sentences or what all the different like
Yeah.
adverb, they're words and they go together right sometimes. Which drives some of my friends who teach high school English absolutely insane. And they're like, "How did you ever graduate?" You don't
It's almost
really
like the mathematics sect part of English or something like that.
right. I have a friend who, when you talk to him, diagrams what you're saying in his head.
No way.
No, and it's mine and my husband's goal in life to create a sentence that will put him in a perpetual loop. We're still working on it, but yeah,
You
no,
want steam to come out of his ears and
I totally do.
just faint in your living room or something?
It would be awesome.
I need to reboot your friend.
So we have one more tip to share. What's the last tip you want to share today, Eric?
Educate yourself.
Woo!
There are so many resources out on the internet, from YouTube to courses on sites like Coursera, where you can take
Mhm,
writing classes. You can learn about the English language and how to convey it well.
mhm.
And don't be afraid to educate yourself. It's almost, since we have, so many of us have gone through high school decades ago or college decades ago, it's helpful to polish up on some of our skills or even learn new things that we hadn't thought of before.
Right. And I'll put out a shout out to a couple courses that come up frequently. Lisa also has a genealogy writing boot camp that comes up every so often. She's offering
Hmm.
one right now, but it's sold out. So if you're into, she does it all online with handouts and chats and everything like that. So if that sounds something that would be interesting to you, keep your ear out for her and Thomas McKentie's boot camps. Next month in February, Lynn Palermo always has her February family history writing month where you write every day and there's chat rooms and forums and daily tips that come to you how to jumpstart that writing to the next level. And then the websites are good, but I also have a few books that I want to recommend because I'm still a book person because I'm like that. Um, because I'm weird and I like the
No, I love the
feel.
smell of books. I get a new
But
book, I flip through it right under my nose so I can smell it.
so here's one for everybody. It's called Edit Yourself, a Manual for Everyone Who Works with Words. It's by Bruce Ross Larson. I keep it on my desk. It is fantastic. Um, it has, how to do proper word constructions, what the active voice is. It's the handbook for me who don't know what the words are. Yeah, that was English. Yes, it was. Occasionally my Southern Indiana roots come out. But yeah, it talks about, how to shorten your sentences, how to make consistency, basic tools for writing. And it's really just a manual or a glossary of things to keep a writer going. And the other one, which I have so many. Oh God, what do I want to pick? What do I want to pick? Oh, this one's good too. The Complete Guide to Article Writing, and it's by Naveed Salih. There at the bottom.
Hmm.
Um, it teaches you how to write everything from nonfiction essays to fiction stories for blogs, for print, for magazines, how to do books. Oh, look, there's even a types of sources section like genealogy. Woo! So I love this book. It actually also teaches you about how to write for newspapers too, which is newsletters. So I think it's a great handbook for anyone who is trying to look at getting their first works published, or maybe if you write a blog and you just want it to sound a little more professional
Yeah.
and a little less scary. No,
Now you've been doing this for years, and you still use those books. So you still find them as being helpful, don't you?
years.
What, months?
Okay, so I started my first blog in 2011, so it's not been
Yeah.
that long. But yeah,
No, but that is years.
I guess that is, isn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. So yeah, I actually picked those up probably a year or two into it. For those of you who don't know my background, I started genealogy and writing at the same time. I was the Family Tree Firsts blogger for Family Tree Magazine, Family Tree University, and I did a year of blogging for them and learning how to do genealogy. I kind of jumped into the deep end of the pool and sank for a while and then bobbed and sank and everyone for a year got to experience that with me on a weekly basis. And when I stopped writing for them for their blog, my personal blog really took off. And I was like, I know nothing. I am a biologist. I can write my opinions, and I'm very good at that free flowing thought type blogging. But structured stuff is a I've come a long way. We'll just put it that way. If anyone goes back and reads my beginning blogs and then what I do now, they're going to go, "Wow, yeah." But yeah, I got those books when I started blogging seriously, I guess you could say, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't. I no longer had an editor because Family Tree Magazine would edit my blogs, and so all of a
Oh.
sudden, yeah, all of a sudden I had to rely on myself or my friends who would come over for dinner or hang out with me at lunch, and I go, "Hey, can you read this page for me? Tell me what to think." Soon they didn't want to come over anymore. So, but yeah, I still use them. I can still get ideas, and that's one of the things I like about those types of books. You may pick them up and start reading them, and you gain some things in the beginning, and then if you put them aside for a while and then you come back to them when you have more experience, you'll pick up other things that are more relevant to what you're doing now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's perfect, and that's just the way to get better over time is learning from what you've done in the past.
Right. And that's the one thing with writing is you're only going to get better the
Hmm.
more you do it. And
Yeah,
the more you listen to the critiques and the comments of your friends and colleagues. It's one of those things where practice does make not necessarily perfect, but better.
yeah. So what you're kind of saying is like, look, at first it may be very bad, but give it time, give it some effort, and
Hmm.
it'll only improve.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I know I've experienced that myself too. Definitely getting uh, better from writing crappy sentences to much more structured and flowing articles than I had well, well in the past, years in the past.
Right. Oh, no. Anyone who's been doing this for any amount of time can totally relate to that comment. Yep. But I
Cool.
think unless you have any last minute, we're up to the 15-minute mark ish. I think we're actually past it. So, any last thoughts or comments before we say adios until February?
I think I've said my fill.
Oh, awesome. I think I have too, because unfortunately I am a talker. So, we should quit while we're ahead.
Well, this has been fun. I think it's been very. I think it's going to be very helpful to people.
I hope so too. And just remember, if you're watching out there and you think Eric and I are fun, you want to join us.
That's
So
right.
next month we will put out on the NextGen Facebook page and some other places when we will be having this hangout. Feel free to drop on in, watch us live. If it's we don't know what we're going to talk about yet. We're going to decide on that here in a little bit, and put out probably a schedule. That way, you guys, if it's something you want to join in on, we'd love to have you talk with us too.
Now, do you want them to leave comments on the YouTube video?
Oh yeah, leave comments. We love comments. Comments are awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
great.
Um, so hope to see you all in February.
Hmm.
Um, if you have comments too, we will start a Facebook page thread on our NextGen Facebook page about this as well. So feel free to comment there too.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks, Shannon.
You're welcome. Hey, have a great day, Eric, and we
I
will
will.
see you all next month. Bye.